everybody. So today I just wanted to go over the homework for 9-2 practice. I know that solving using substitution can be a little tricky. So let me just remind you, substitution, if I'm a substitute, or if I have a substitute, I am not in the classroom. My substitute is. Well, same idea here. The first thing you want to do is you want to see if there's an x equals or y equals. And if you look on your note page, on the previous page, you'll see these steps. All right, so it tells us y equals x minus 4. So what that means is wherever I see a y in the other equation, I can, if it's going to let me, maybe not, okay, I can substitute it in. So instead of 3 times y, I'm going to do 3 times x minus 4 because they're the same thing. So I'm going to bring my whole equation down. 4x plus 3 times y, which is x minus 4, equals 37. So basically, you're just taking this equation, you're taking out the y and replacing it with x minus 4 because they're equal to each other. They're the same. And by doing that, you've created an equation that you can solve with one variable. So we have to distribute. I'm just going to bring my 4x down. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12 equals 37. And then solve. So we have 7x minus 12 equals 37. Add 12 to both sides. 7x equals 49. Divide by 7. So x would equal 7. All right, now you also want to find the y value. It's easiest to take the easier of the two equations. Whoops. So if you look, this bottom equation looks a lot easier. Y equals x minus 4. Well, now you know that x equals 7. So instead of y equals x minus 4, we're going to substitute again. Y equals 7 minus 4. So y equals 3. And remember what's actually happening here. If we would have solved this top equation for y and graphed both of these two lines would cross at that point. And remember, every single point is an xy, so that point would be 7, 3. All right, so just don't forget to find both values. All right, the second one, the top one solved for y. So again, I'm going to take out this y in here. So instead of writing 2x plus y equals 6, I'm going to replace it with this. So 2x plus negative 3x plus 5 equals 6. So we took out the y and replaced it with what it's equal to from the other equation. So now 2x plus negative 3x is negative 1x. And the plus 5 isn't going to change it. If there was a negative in front or a number, you'd have to distribute. It helps draw the line. Trying to solve for x here, so we'll subtract the 5. Negative 1x equals 1. Divide by negative 1. So x equals negative 1. And again, pick one of the equations. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to choose the top one because y is already by itself. So y, instead of equaling negative 3 times x plus 5, negative 3 times negative 1 plus 5, because we just solved and found that that was the x value. So this gives us positive 3 plus 5, which is 8. So again, if we were going to graph this thing, it would be, those lines would cross at the point negative 1, 8. Now on this next one, they both say y equals, so you could easily take a peek in your calculator to see what the answer is going to be. But you can't always rely on the calculator. Sometimes they want to see that you can do it algebraically. And if you really hate substitution, I think that the next lesson when we talk about elimination, you might like it a little better. So if we look at the graph, I can't see where they're crossing, but I could look at the table. All right, look to see where their y values are the same. See how those both contain the point 311? That's going to be your answer in the end. So when we go to figure it out, you could also, if you go back to the graph second calc and choose choice 5, intersect, Even though it's not on the graph, it tells you what the intersection is, 311. Okay, now since these are both equal to y, that means they're both equal to each other. So I'm just going to set them equal to each other. I'm going to put the 4x minus 1 equals x plus 8. You could put it the other way too, but I like having the bigger variable on the left. Okay, I don't see parentheses, so now we just got to combine our x's. Since they have to cross the equal sign, instead of it being positive, it's going to now become a minus x. So on the right, we just have a positive 8 left. On the left, 4x minus 1x would be 3x minus 1. Add 1 to both sides. 3x equals 9. Divide by 3. X equals 3. Exactly what we said it would be up here. All right, I'm going to zoom out just a little. Maybe. There we go. Keep in mind when you're using Cami, you can zoom out and zoom back in to make it a little easier. Okay, so now we know x equals 3. So put it into one of these. Maybe choose the top one. So instead of x plus 8, we have 3 plus 8, which would give us 11, which is the same thing we had up here. Again, if those two lines, if we graphed them, they would cross at the point 3, 11, x and then y. Same thing you would have got here. 4 times 3 is 12 minus 1 is 11. All right, a couple more. I see the bottom equation has y by itself, so I'm going to rewrite the top equation, but instead of having x minus 5 times y, it's going to be x equals 5 times negative 2x plus 1. Just make sure that it goes in parentheses. So we took out the y and replaced it with what y is equal to. It's kind of like the vending machine won't take a dollar bill, so you have to put 4 quarters in. It looks totally different, but it's the same thing. All right, so all we did is we copied that top equation down, but we took out the y and put in what it's equal to. All right, so I'm going to bring my x down. We have to distribute first. Negative 5 times negative 2x would be positive 10x. Negative 5 times 1, negative 5. Watch the negative in front of your parentheses. All right, 1x plus 10x is 11x. Minus 5 equals negative 49. Add 5 to both sides. 11x equals negative 44. Divide by 11. X equals negative 4. And again, now that you know what x is, plug it into one of the equations up top. I'm going to grab this one. So y equals negative 2 times negative 4 plus 1. So we just took and replaced the x. We substituted in, just like we substituted the expression in to begin. So y equals 8 plus 1, which is 9. So again, if we were going to graph that, it would be, those two lines would cross at the point negative 4, 9. All right, last one. I see x is by itself, so I'm going to take out the x up here. So I'm going to have 2y minus 6 times something equals 32. All right, it's the same exact thing. See, I have the 2y minus 6 equals 32, but instead of writing x, we're going to put what x is equal to, which is negative 24 plus 5y. And then we're ready to solve. Don't forget to distribute first. If you're not sure about that number, use your calculator. That's what it's there for. Negative 6 times negative 24, 144. So we have 2y plus 144. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30y equals 32. Combine your y's. 2 minus 30 would be, I feel like we already did this question, or one similar. Negative 28y plus 144 equals 32. Subtract 144. Negative 28y equals, all right, if you're not sure, use your calculator. 32 minus 144. Negative 112. And then we're going to divide both sides by negative 28. So you can say divided by negative 28. 4. All right, so now that you know what x is or y is, plug it in. I'm going to use this equation. Let's get you out of there. X equals negative 24 plus 5 times, but instead of times y, we're going to do times 4 because that's what we just found y is equal to. So we have x equals negative 24 plus 20, so x equals negative 4. And again, if we were graphing that, those two lines would cross at the point negative 4, positive 4. All right, hopefully that helped. In our next lesson, we're going to learn about solving using elimination, the last method. If you have any further questions, stop by the Math Lab. I'm always happy to help. Have a great day.